What's up, everybody? My name is Q,
I'm JusRzd.
My name is Prodigyl.
and this is Those Indie Geeks, and you're hanging out with Those Indie Geeks, where we talk about all the stuff that we love in a geeky manner. And we're here today because all of us have seen Captain America, man. It was a look. I'm saying it's been a minute since Marvel's been like kind of on one, and honestly, I feel like this is a step in the right direction. But I'm not like, I don't know if this is anybody else's opinion or not, but I'm not like over hyping it. But at the same time, I feel like it did what it kind of needed to do. Would you agree?
I feel like it was good, not great. Which I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at. Good, not great. I feel like the way people, certain takes I've seen from it online, is kind of not taking it as what it is, kind of at face value. Essentially, even though this is the fourth Captain America film, it's pretty much the beginning of a new trilogy. So it's just like you can't hit a grand slam in the beginning of a trilogy. Like, you have to set up what story you're telling, how the narrative that you're going, the character development and all that stuff, if you're introducing a new trilogy. And essentially, I feel like that's kind of what Brave New World did. Was it really set Falcon up to start his journey, start and continue his journey as Captain America on the big screen.
So to you, it was like a renewal of the franchise itself. Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't heard that take yet. That's why I'm asking, because everybody else is that I've like gotten opinions from have just been on that tip of, this is a continuation. This is another Captain America movie. It should be like this, and I'm just like, but you're dealing with a completely different character.
Completely different moveset, completely different culture, structure, all that. Like, it's not, you can't apply Steve Rogers' logic to Sam Wilson. Like, they don't go together.
He's even in a different sect of military. Like, if we want to get specific, like,
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is, like, a lot of people feel like Falcon and the Winter Soldier could have been a movie, or could have been a Captain America movie. And, like, I've seen that argument so many times online, and I'm just like, I can't agree with that. Because, like, Falcon and Winter Soldier is all about, like, Sam Wilson trying to grapple with the fact that he's been passed down this mantle, right? And that doesn't, and by the end of it, he embraces the role of Captain America, and even then, not fully, but he's just like, he knows that he has a mission and he has to carry it. But I don't think that would be constituted as like a Captain America movie where he's just like, all right, let's go, coming in and, like, you know, fully embracing the role. I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier, if it was a movie, it could have been just Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like, it couldn't have been called a Captain America movie. Do you get what that distinction?
Yeah.
Right? And because it was on Disney Plus, it was great. Like, you know, we got it in multi, you know, whatever, broken down format, like an episode format. But yeah, I just don't get that argument when people say, oh, Falcon and Winter Soldier should have been a Captain America movie.
The funniest thing about that is the revisionist history. A lot of people didn't like Falcon and Winter Soldier when it first dropped. Over time,
they started
to realize, oh, it actually wasn't that bad, because it was a good series. Like,
it was the better of
back
the
to back.
Yeah,
WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki, back to back. They really set the foundation for Disney Plus shows. Right, and it's just like people be having some of the dumbest takes sometimes. It's like, bro, y'all don't remember that when Captain America: Brave New World dropped, a lot of y'all didn't like it. I mean, not Brave New World, but the first Avenger. When the first Avenger dropped, y'all didn't really like it like that. So it's just like,
I don't know, man. Like, I never really heard anything bad about the first Avengers movie. The second Avengers movie.
Not the first Avengers.
No,
movie. The first Avenger.
Captain America, the first Avenger.
Oh, okay.
Cap 1.
Cap 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cap 1.
Yeah,
because
Cap
this is essentially the Cap 1 of the new trilogy, or like the new Captain America, right?
I was about to say, like, what?
Yeah, and like
everybody liked Avengers.
Falcon and Winter Soldier can be considered as like Cap 0.5 in this is
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's like the origin story of the yeah, I guess that's the origin story. Of
First
how
Avenger,
Sam
though, it had a lot of. I mean, I guess it's just the exact same thing that we're looking at with Sam's story in the beginning of it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, when you're looking at Captain America: First Avenger, we're talking about making. Okay, because he's not the most fantastical superhero, right? But we're talking about making basically this fantastical look at a time where there wasn't even modern day stuff. So obviously, already then it kind of appears as like a super fantastical sci-fi kind of thing. And I don't think people got it because they weren't used to the whole origin story taking place and being explained frame by frame, as opposed to it just being noted at the beginning part of the movie, and then we're moving on to whatever else was happening. Because even with, I feel like that speed of superhero movies is like gone the way of the dinosaur. You feel me? Like, because that's kind of how all the Spider-Man movie, or at least the first Spider-Man movie was. Like, it moved at like a very, very slow pace.
Which Spider-Man are you talking about?
The
Like
very
the Tobey
first
Maguire
Spider-Man.
one?
The very first Spider-Man movie, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It moved
because
at a
that was
slow pace.
yeah,
beginning
yeah.
it
Because
did.
at the beginning, it wasn't like oh,
Trying
we're
to
introduced
rewind.
to Peter.
I'm trying to think back as to
It
how
was-
it starts.
Because it wasn't like we're introduced to Peter,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's in this scenario where he gets bit by the spider. It was like we're with Peter and we're going with him through life for almost like 25 minutes, was it? And then
That's true.
and then he finally gets the spider powers, and then they spend another like 15-20 minutes of him acclimating to the powers. And then he gets to the point where like at the end of that, he's like wrestling the dude. The whole, spoiler alert. Remember, we don't care about spoilers here as much.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Spoiler alert for Spider-Man 1.
People probably haven't seen that, bro. They probably haven't seen it.
Yeah, man. Look, hey, JusRzd. There are some babies out there that have been born that haven't
There's
watched
like-
Spider-Man.
So
while they're watching this-
what are
You should've watched
you
it
talking
in the
about
movie.
Tom Holland? I'm all like, no, I'm talking about Tobey Maguire. So okay,
Yo.
so Gen Z people, I'm talking about the dude in No Way Home who was the old like youth pastor
So
preacher
the
looking.
40-year-old guy that was playing 18-year-old is what you're talking about.
That's the
That was back
guy.
in 2000.
That's
Okay.
who we're talking about. So like that moved pretty slow, and then it finally got into like the second half of the movie where he finally was Spider-Man. And even in the second half of the movie, he wasn't Spider-Man until like maybe about like 15 minutes in. So it
Yeah,
took
I
a
get
minute.
I feel like
It
that's
took a
why.
minute.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's why Spider-Man 2 was heralded as like the best Spider-Man film
Because they got to it.
They got to it immediately. The character development was there. The motivations for the villain and the hero was there. The issues and Peter's home life was there. Like they just got to everything. They didn't have to set nothing up. They just went straight for it. And I feel
Yeah.
like the same thing with Winter Soldier. Like Winter Soldier is heralded as one of Marvel's greatest films.
Oh,
And
it is.
It's just like
It's definitely
it's
up there.
definitely up there. And it's just like they were able to just get active and get to it because they already told his whole backstory.
They told that
how he
backstory.
became Captain America, all this, that, and the third.
Right.
And now we're introducing Winter Soldier, and he's coming in wrecking shop.
I think a lot of qualm though happened though with this one with this Captain America because of the fact that they basically kind of rehashed or are trying to rehash the Winter Soldier plot, and I'm talking about like the skeletons of it. You got the skeletons of it. Basically, you have Sam out here trying to figure out how to be Captain America, right? He's going more in his own, like trying to figure it out, right? He's trying to help out a friend who's basically a enemy of the nation because of his actions, and he's trying to find, I don't know who's seen the new Captain America. I assume if you're listening to this, I've already seen it.
We gotta put a spoiler tag on this, man. It's like spoiler warnings.
This is
what you need spoiler warnings for, not Spider-Man 1.
This is not Spider-Man.
This is what we need. This is what we need spoiler warnings for, not Spider-Man 1.
That's true. Okay,
right,
spoiler warning. But this is basically just the plot of the movie. So he's doing what he can for his so he could save his friend basically from being killed by the U.S. nation because of certain acts against that nation. So but then you have the inserted kind of Incredible Hulk stuff. I feel like while it was interesting, obviously that's not like Winter Soldier, but but then you have them talking about Super Soldier Serum, and the new Super Soldier Serum is basically the antimanium, or however you say it, adamantium. Yeah, and that's how people are kind of linking them. But I'm all like, you're stretching because yes, I get it. There's parts of that, but I still believe that this is kind of its own thing. It's like somewhat of a recycled plot, but not really.
I will agree. Like the skeleton, or I guess it's like the whispers of Winter Soldier with the government / espionage, not espionage, but whatever. You know, like the spy thriller kind of feel. It is there for sure. I don't know. I feel like they try to also do their own thing, right? And the problem I have is and not with what you said, but again, a lot of people online, which are half the time it's dumb anyway, but a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is like Winter Soldier rehab." Exactly, yeah. Winter Soldier. They're trying to do Winter Soldier again. I'm like, I didn't get that feel when I walked into this. I feel like they're trying to do their own thing. Yes, they're still trying to go with that government kind of the spy thriller kind of feel there is, but I honestly felt like I honestly didn't feel like they were trying to go for Winter Soldier Part 2.
I think it's just because there was a lot of callbacks, because
there were a lot of callbacks to a lot of different. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot of different.
But if you think about Winter Soldier, a lot of those events, a lot of those things that were happening in that movie, that was the first time we've ever really seen anything like that.
That's true.
From a Marvel movie.
True.
With all these, that was a first.
But
there's not much to go off of.
The knife fight.
Winter Soldier was the first grounded Marvel film.
Exactly.
So it's just
but they purposely did callbacks to other movies like Winter Soldier, like the truck thing with the Serpent Society guy, with Bucky chasing
got you.
Cap around the truck and stuff like that. So they did a couple of callbacks. The hallway scene with Black Widow in the blah 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 blah. The chick now, whatever her name is, Ruth, whatever.
She's tiny.
Yeah,
she's tiny, bro.
She is a short woman.
That's more unbelievable than Sam doing all this without Super Soldier.
Well,
Serum.
okay, so here's a question. So because I gave my rating online, right, for the movie. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I thought it was solid. I thought it was
solid 8.
Solid 8. And what did you think?
I gave it an 8.
8. Okay. Yeah, I think for me, again, there are elements of it I can agree, but it's not. I think my problem mainly with this kind of commentary is just from the extremists that are oh, they're trying to do Winter Soldier. I don't get it, and that's where my kind of my problems lie. But I think overall, with the acting wise though, Anthony Mackie, who plays Joaquin, what's his name, Danny something.
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah,
Danny Torres. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
mean, they have because of Falcon and Winter Soldier, they have a natural they have a good chemistry with their teamwork and all of that, and how they interact on screen. I think Anthony Mackie does it so well. He's already
well, we know
really
him.
Built into the character of Sam Wilson, but now with this added responsibility, I feel like whenever he's on screen, especially when he's having those weightier conversations, especially with those scenes with Harrison Ford about him as Captain America, or like, oh, you're not Steve Rogers, and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Like he like in Falcon and Winter Soldier, like he would have broken quite easily on that, or like been way more discouraged. But now seeing him step into the role of Captain America and him being like, no, like there's still a little bit of doubt there, but he still knows that he has that mission, and his friend entrusted that to him. And I think Anthony Mackie does play that well. So I think that's like
They
one of the
acted their behinds off.
and Harrison
Everybody.
Ford too. I heard people like
Everybody.
were saying like Harrison Ford was like I hate the internet if y'all don't know by now, but but Harrison Ford was great. Like I mean, like
He was Harrison
oh
Ford.
crap, yeah, exactly.
Right, I
Well,
was about to
yes, yes, but I mean, like
Harrison
for the
Ford-
character of
Harrison
Thunderbolt
Ford.
Ross was, it wasn't watered down, or
It was
wasn't.
weird
Like-
because it was like Harrison Ford was just being Harrison Ford.
I mean, but
it
Harrison Ford
worked.
is Harrison Ford in
But it
every-
worked. Yeah.
He's
True.
Harrison Ford in the jungle in Indiana Jones. Harrison Ford in space is Han Solo.
He's
Yeah.
Harrison Ford in the MCU, bro.
Right. He's
He
Harrison
just
Ford
happens to be
on,
Thunderbolt Ross.
He just happened to be the president of the United States.
Again.
That's funny too. That's hilarious.
President
Like,
Harrison Ford.
nobody's putting that together. Like, y'all remember when Harrison Ford was way younger and he was like the president
on Air
in that
Force
one movie,
Yeah.
Air Force One? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's
have not
basically
seen
the
that.
president again, but with more of a Harrison Ford Thunderbolt type of attitude. Like,
Exactly. A more grumpy.
And I dig-
older
I-
Harrison
okay.
Ford.
what was your guys' opinion? What was your guys' opinion on like the Red Hulk? Because you could see it. Well, at least for me, like I can only speak for myself and what I saw. Like, but what I saw was I saw that template for the old Hulk, and it made me miss the old Hulk. It just
Yeah.
looked like old Hulk with Harrison Ford's face.
When you see like Red Hulk, like I thought he looked fantastic.
Yeah, he looked great.
He looked great. Like the CGI on that was great. I'm actually like I think back on like She-Hulk and all that stuff. I mean, the budget maybe is not. Man, no, actually She-Hulk had a pretty big budget, right?
She all got a pretty big budget for what it was.
So like,
supposed to.
yeah, and I mean Abomination looked fantastic in
oops.
right? Abomination
Yeah.
looked great in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
But Red Hulk, after seeing him in this, I wish Hulk looked anywhere something close to that in She-Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the quality of like the way the Hulk is depicted over time has just got, and I feel like it's a majority opinion, it's deteriorated a lot. And I feel like they need to really do something with it because I don't know what's happening with Bruce Banner. Bro's CGI is like naturally deteriorating. I don't know, but yeah,
They
Red
just
Hulk looked
keep-
fantastic though.
Like
Yeah,
they-
I feel like what's Buddy name? What's Bruce Banner name? The actor who plays him? Mark Ruffalo.
Mark
There we
Ruffalo.
go.
Mark
I
Ruffalo.
feel like he plays a great Bruce Banner. Not so much on the Hulk, but I feel like he plays a great Bruce Banner though.
Even
He's
from
that
Avengers?
deep into
Even from Avengers? Like you don't
Avengers,
think
Avengers 1 and 2.
that Hulk? You didn't
Avengers
think that
1 and
Hulk
2
was
were
good?
great.
He was-
Avengers-
I liked them.
he was-
Here's
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but I like because I'm one of those people that really was kind of against the actor exchange at first, but I didn't know that he was supposed to be him from the jump. I just, I was more used to what's his
Edward Norton.
face, Edward Norton,
Norton.
because that design for the Incredible Hulk in that movie. Oh my God! If we had that one now, if that one comes back in Secret Wars as what's his name, Maestro or whatever, the
would be
future
great.
Hulk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That'd be
but we're
fire.
getting
That'd be
getting out of
crazy.
Captain America territory.
Sorry,
what,
just
were,
race.
what were your,
Yeah, what you said?
So for me, my take, I'm gonna get to Red Hulk in a second, but I gotta say this about Cap. The movie, first of all, everybody was acting their behind off.
Everybody.
In that film, like it was ridiculous. Brother almost shedded a tear on Isaiah Bradley when he was just like, "I can't
oh
go back."
man!
Can't
Oh
go back. I said,
man!
Oh,
nigga.
dude.
That gave me
that-
flashbacks I don't even have.
Dude,
I've
that
never been-
that was
I was
sad
like,
for
"Damn,
sure.
am I about to go to jail? I'm about to go." Like,
For real, like
said I can't go back. I said, "Oh, I
I
can't."
can't.
Yo,
Never.
no, I agree. Like, yeah, Isaiah Bradley scenes, I felt, yeah. His eyes, man. His eyes has a lot of sadness in them. The actor did a
Man.
fantastic job, man. But like, Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Facts.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that off top, the actors was acting in Brave New World. I feel like Brave New World was a dope continuation of character development for Sam Wilson from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Were there odes to Winter Soldier, the original film? Yeah, because you could tell they were trying. It's a Captain America film. 1, 2. They're trying to get that boots on the ground type feel. So it's just like, okay.
There was nods to Iron Man too.
Right. There was nods to Iron Man. There was nods to Incredible Hulk. A lot of nods and plot lines to Incredible Hulk. Which I'm glad they scaled back on a lot of that, because I could see this film, if they leaned into that more, being Incredible Hulk 2 featuring Cap instead of a Captain America movie.
Right.
So I'm glad that they kind of tucked a lot of that away and just kind of focused more so on Cap's story. And I just really like, because I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier, the character development was just like the conflict of, what does it mean for a black man to pick up this shield? For like Captain America, what does it mean for him to pick up this mantle and pick up this shield? By the end of it, he decides to pick it up, become Captain America. And now, like you said, with that confidence, he's able to kind of stand his ground in arguments and situations where people are like, "Oh, you're not Steve Rogers." And it's like, yeah, I'm not Steve Rogers, but I'm Sam Wilson. I'm the person he chose to pick up this mantle. And even the scene with him and Bucky, it was just like, just reassuring him, like, bro, you don't have to live up to the mantle that Steve held.
That
in Captain
caught
America.
me. That caught me in my field, because it was the Isaiah scene when they were pushing us up because we black, and then
Right.
and you just felt like, am I going to jail? What's happening?
Right.
I can't. That felt like Unc, bro. That felt like Unc
Thanks.
about to go to jail. But then, like, at the same time, when Bucky came in, bro, it was almost like you could hear the theater just collectively go, like, because there's all this tension building up, and then, yo, dude, I ain't going nowhere. I was all like, it's his friend. It can't be his friend. It's his friend. When it was Bucky, I was just like, yes. Yeah, it's like the perfect.
And the way Anthony Mackie is able to like pull from other great actors and scenes is so dope to me, that certain actors are good at like being themselves or just acting in general, but I feel like it takes a special type of actor to be able to pull chemistry out of somebody that's either supposed to be that antagonist to your protagonist, or somebody that's like your friend, and you could pull that camaraderie. And I feel like he's one of the greats that's able to do that as far as acting wise, because you could see it
especially
on
in the
screen with him
MCU.
and Joaquin. You can see it on screen with him and Winter Soldier. Like, you could see him like kind of pulling that camaraderie, and the way he was just like, did your speechwriters help you with that? Like, just, it was so much subtle humor in this film that it
wasn't forced.
Exactly. It wasn't forced. It didn't feel like they were trying to make me laugh. It just felt like they were generally responding to what was happening in the moment. And I appreciated that so much, because you don't have to try to be funny to be funny.
You know who else is good at that? And this is completely off subject, but you know who else is good at that? The girl that plays Captain Marvel, or Miss Marvel.
Oh,
what's her name?
Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
Iman Vellani.
Kamala Khan, or are you talking
Iman
about
Vellani.
Yeah,
Iman Vellani.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, she does that really well for somebody who's like just really kind of getting her acting career started.
Low key,
like,
dang, I can't think of her real name, but Photon does it too.
Yeah, I'm blanking on her
I can't
real
think of her
name.
name right now.
Is it?
Dang, that sucks. I know
I keep
who
thinking
you're talking about.
I'm thinking Dominique, but like Dominique is the actor for no, she's the actor for Ironheart.
You're right. Dominique.
She cool too. She cool
Wait,
too.
hold on, I gotta look this up actually.
Now, because now it's gonna bug me. But that just made me, what you said about them made me think about that. We have a bunch of actors going into our next Avengers movie. Now we have a bunch of chess pieces that are able to just draw stuff out of people, and I can't wait to see like
on top of who we already got, like a Don Cheadle, like
that's
Wong,
what I'm saying.
like Benedict Cumberbatch, like so.
Bro,
we gotta. It's a
Simu Limu, bro. I cannot wait to see
Leo.
whatever, bro. I don't.
Emu, Limu, and Doug.
Shang-Chi the llama. Shang-Chi the llama.
I'm dead. Can't wait to get canceled for this, y'all.
Liberty Mutual.
Emu,
Okay,
Limu,
just so y'all
and
know.
Doug. Wait, so Monica Rambeau's actor is named Tiana Paris.
Tiana Paris.
Yes.
Just so y'all know, like, we're ethnic as heck. If you're just listening to this,
I know, yeah.
we're so ethnic of this. There's not a white person in this. It's all good, bro.
Oh,
We got
man.
Asian,
But
we got
Tiana
black,
Paris
we
is
got
good at that as well.
Indian. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the film, the character development. I like that Sam was in a predicament to like really stand on stand 10 toes on who he is as Captain America, and that his conflict was more so just, now that I'm deciding to take this mantle, can I live up to it? Or should I take the serum? Should I not take the serum? Like, do I need to do that in order to be what Steve was? And like I said, that conversation with Bucky of just reassuring him, like, bro, he picked you because you're you, not because you have to be him. And it's just like that was like the through line and the point and the message to me of the entire film was like, yo, you can be Captain America. And like even the conversation you had with Joaquin when he woke up from surgery or whatever, and was just like, yo, like, I looked up to Cap, but I wanted to be you. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't looking. I can't be a super soldier. But once I saw you with the wings and you were just a regular dude.
He's like, I could do that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like I could be somebody. But
I could be somebody. Bro, like
I thought that was dope.
And then cuz we were talking about the Red Hawk too, so I want to know your thoughts on that, but like just there's so many opposing views, and there's so many opposing views that are actually educated that I want to shout out. Rob from Comics Explained actually had a really, really good thing. Like, he had a good synopsis to kind of say about, like, what he thought about the movie. Not synopsis, but, like, he had really good thoughts about what he had to say about the movie that we, right now, are kind of contradicting. Like, he had a lot of things that he didn't think that went right with the movie if it were to be like comic accurate. But
so he was
he wasn't hating. At least it didn't sound like he was hating it, but it sounded more like he and this is my friend Fafa, the dude who never talks in the Marvel chat. I'm calling you out.
Who's that?
Fafa Jones. That's exactly. I'm
the admin for that chat. I gotta know this.
I forgot he was in there. I was all like, what? You're in there? But like, he has the same opinion about it kind of as Rob, and he was talking to me about that earlier today, and I was just kind of like, all right, I get it, and I get what Rob pointed out, because I watched it, because at first I thought he was just going to go in hating. And he wasn't hating. He was just kind of like, there are a lot of people, I think, that have shared the notion of we're expecting more out of Marvel. And for me, personally, I kind of agree with that, but I'm okay with letting Cap be a B. And not like a B movie, but like, if we're talking like grading on the scale, like, I'm okay with it being kind of a B, because I gave it an 8, a solid 8. I'm not gonna give it an A plus, because it's not a Winter Soldier to me, but it's also the beginning of something new. Exactly. Like, we're gonna have the same thing with Spider-Man, y'all. Like, the same thing when Spider-Man comes back for Spider-Man 4. They're approaching it like a brand new trilogy. So it's gonna be new character. No, it's not. Hopefully, they already said that's what they were gonna do.
Trilogy, I'll give you. Spider-Man 4. I've heard some things, so that's why I'm just like.
Well, I mean, the multiverse stuff is bound to be a part of it, just because he needs to be a part of the story of Secret Wars. Right. But where they're setting him is more grounded than having to, like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not him. He doesn't have a benefactor anymore.
Right.
He doesn't have Tony. He doesn't have all these people and heroes to rely on and back it. He's Spider-Man, the way Spider-Man is supposed to be. Like, he's gonna have his new friends and everything like that, but it's gonna be almost an entirely new cast. Apparently, like, most of the cast isn't coming back, so like that is like, we're not necessarily seeing that with this Captain America, but we kind of are. We're seeing this like fresh start. It's just, it sucks because it's marred with stuff that they needed to tie loose ends with, like the Incredible Hulk. Like, you know, it kind of sucks. Like, I have okay, I guess we can get into gripes now. I have a personal gripe with how the leader looks.
I get it.
You're not the only one.
Oh
You're not the
my
only
gosh.
I'm not mad at how the leader looks.
I am.
But I can say I'm a little disappointed. But for what they were going for, I'm just like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm not mad at it is because they tried to go comic accurate with MODOK and got shredded.
Oh, they got clowned. They got clowned. But
No,
if you
bad.
had seen, if you saw the Funko, it was like, it was literally like, okay, that would have worked if he would have just enlarged his head just a little,
Right.
and gave him the slick back hair with the mustache. Comic accurate leader.
To be honest, you're talking about the leader. I was talking about MODOK.
Yeah.
MODOK. If they could have just kept the mask thing that
The
he
golden
had,
mask thing was dope.
and
That
just kept it
would've
like
worked.
that
And
instead of
giving him a
exposing
face?
his face, like
Yeah,
just be
that
like,
would've been
that
fine.
is Aaron Cross.
His face should have been more horrifying. His
True.
face should have been more messed up, because
True.
I think the backlash of what happened was the thing came off, the mask came, which is cool anyway, but the thing came off, and it was just his head stretched out, and it looked
Right.
funny as opposed to like, oh
And then
my
they
god,
kinda
we need to
turned
be
him
scared
into
of
a
this.
joke. Right.
Exactly.
Along with Kang towards the end of that, but that's a whole separate right.
I think for me, like, I was not super familiar. Again, not a comic book reader, right? So I wasn't super familiar with the.
Crack open them comic books, bro.
I wasn't super familiar with the leader.
Lion gonna get us. Lion gonna get us from TikTok. Crack open them books.
I'm the imposter in this group, y'all. I'm the imposter among y'all. But I wasn't super like, I wasn't mad at the way that he looked. But the thing is, I thought it could have been better. Like, dude just looked raggedy. Bro just looked really raggedy. And I was just like, I'm not scared of him. Like, obviously, yes, his like brain power is like something else and like all of that. So it's cool.
Threatening.
But he wasn't threatening. Yeah, exactly. Like, I just felt like he was. I think someone in our chat, I don't know who, I think it was maybe Q, he said like he compared him to Malekith from Thor 2.
Did I do that? No, that was probably Mitch or something.
I thought it was Q Flow.
Oh, Q Flow? Oh, yeah, probably Q Flow, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I kind of have to give it to him. Not in terms of just like how effective the plan is, because the plan was okay. Like, the plan was like, he used his smarts and
technically
whatever.
got everything he wanted.
Right, but he just didn't look intimidating. He just didn't look menacing. And like, I mean, and I feel, is that something that's supposed
He
to be a
wasn't even able
characteristic
to
of the
emote.
leader?
Yes,
Yeah,
he was.
yeah, okay.
He's at least supposed to look. He's not supposed to be imposing, because that's not his thing. His thing
has
is
always been
intelligence,
Yeah.
but he always has this like snide look on his face, like, I'm better than you. Like,
Got it. Yeah, and it didn't come off.
genuinely better
He
than you.
definitely
He couldn't
has
even
a-
emote.
Yeah,
I
that
give
didn't come
you that.
off.
He definitely has a superiority complex because of his intellect and his mentality, and I could see him progressing to that in the MCU.
Yeah,
So that's why
maybe
I
he
was like,
figures out how to fix his face and head and stuff.
Right.
'Cause
Like, I can
he's
see
smart.
him getting all that together in the MCU. That's why I wasn't necessarily mad for this being his first entry, especially considering how bad they got killed for MODOK. Like I said, I was just kind of like, but
Yeah.
I like the fact that he literally accomplished everything he set out to do in the film. Like, he didn't lose. He did what he wanted to do. He got arrested at the end because he wanted to get arrested at the end. But at the end of the day, because he could have got away.
That's
scot-free.
crazy. That's crazy. He
never
did
had
get
to
away
show
with
up
it.
And talk to Cap. Like, he never had to
But-
show up and talk to Sam.
He just did it just
He just
cause,
did it because he
just to
wanted
show
to.
him.
So he
So
literally,
that is the
he did
leader. That is
exactly.
that's
Exactly,
the
that's the
correct
leader.
depiction
That's the
of him.
same thing with Zemo. Like in Civil War, like Zemo accomplished everything he wanted to do in Civil War. He caused dissension without
That
ever
is
throwing
true.
a punch.
I'm interested in your thoughts on the Red Hulk, man. Like, what did you actually
Oh,
think?
got you. Yeah, the Red Hulk. Thought it was fire. Thought the design was dope. Would love to see more of the Red Hulk. Wasn't mad at the amount of time that he was on screen. I heard some people complaining about that online. Like, he was only in the
No,
movie for 5 minutes, and it's just like,
it's not
bro,
his movie.
it's not his movie. Like,
It's not a
he's-
Hulk
he's
movie.
Like
not
we
even
all
the
we
main
all
villain.
knew when he was coming out, right? Because like of that whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And
No,
it's just
but
like,
my thing
it's
is, why
not
are
his
you going to
movie.
complain? My thing is, why are you going to complain about all the aspects of it, an Incredible Hulk movie being inside of this Captain America movie, but then be all like, well, there wasn't enough Red Hulk. Like, shut up.
Right. Pick a side.
You didn't want a Hulk movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Big
No,
aside.
I think that with like the Red Hulk, like because let's see, he almost like transforms on the ship, and then but the thing is, and there's been a few complaints that I was like, you know what, maybe if they hadn't revealed it in the trailers, it would have been better. Somewhat, but like if they didn't show like when he was
movie wouldn't
actually
have
coming
sold it.
out or whatever, yeah,
If he
I
had
know.
just,
but like we
shown
knew
throwing down
it
the
wasn't.
shield-
Yeah, we knew it wasn't gonna happen in the ship or wherever. Yeah, the ship, right? The battle carrier. I don't
No,
know where-
he
yeah.
he. If he had just, if they would have just shown, like, if they would have cut it to where not even where you see like his upper torso, but just him throwing down the shield and it by his red leg, sold. I'm already buying my ticket.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
all
They
I
didn't have-
needed to
they didn't-
see.
I'll agree with that. They didn't have to show his whole
Show everything, right?
His whole look.
Yeah.
They could have just shown that him roaring, throwing down the shield. by his
I
leg.
didn't even need.
Fine.
I didn't even need the upper half of him.
Right.
If I would have saw Rip Pants red leg and him throwing down the shield.
Or even him punching the shield in their fight.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right.
oh yeah, because
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he came down like that
Yeah.
and it made spark,
Yeah.
sold. I'm already
Yeah.
seeing
Fine
it.
with that.
But you
And
know
that's-
how
and that's a
trailer.
part of them understanding how to properly tease stuff in trailers. Like they want to show you stuff. Like I wasn't mad at what they showed in the trailer because I understood it at the end of the day. First of all, it's hard enough to it's hard enough to sell a comic with a black Captain America, let alone a film with Sam Wilson taking the mantle of Captain America to America. Like this,
No.
you got to sell that film with just. It's just like, yeah, that's gonna be
So
hard.
many
But we
racists
got a
are
Hulk.
so
We got a
unhappy.
Hulk. So I get that aspect. Of
Yeah.
It.
Yeah.
But like I said, I liked Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is just gonna be Harrison Ford. He's been that way for a while. And it doesn't mean he's a bad actor. It's just some
No.
actors they get so seasoned to the point where they just kind of become themselves in a role instead of becoming the role. If that makes sense, Denzel.
That's Will Smith
and
too.
it works.
Will Smith,
RDJ, and it works.
It works.
Right?
RDJ.
It works.
Yeah.
And so as far as Red Hulk, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed the time he was there. Didn't need him a minute longer for me, just because they did what they wanted to do with it. And I'm
Correct.
fine. He's not dead, so it's just like they
That
can
too.
easily bring him back in future projects.
One gripe that I saw on the internet was, we just hate the internet over here, I guess. But like, one gripe that I saw was like, man, if he could stab him, wouldn't that have killed him? He's a Hulk. Y'all be saying some stuff, bro, where I'm just like, do you even like? Okay, I get the Fairweather fan. But you're talking about, number one, a fictional character. Number two, you're talking about a being that's based off of an unstoppable being that has a healing factor that's already crazy in his own right. Why wouldn't you think that other Hulk has that ability?
And both of them get stronger the more angrier that they get.
Oh yeah, if Sam couldn't have calmed him down, he would have been
a
dead.
wrap.
It was
didn't
gone.
stop him
Everybody
after
was
the
gone.
stab.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
He
is true.
stabbed him and
At
the
that
blood still
point,
got
that's when we call him the actual, like the rest of the event. Like
exactly.
somebody would have had to kill this man.
Exactly. Which is why anytime the Hulk goes on a rampage in the comics, it takes a team to get rid of him. Unless Black
At
Panther
least.
shows up.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Unless
We got
Panther
Black
shows up.
Panther that laid him out. We have Black
A few
Panther that
times.
laid him out. We have Namor that laid him out.
Yep.
Because Namor is not to be trifled with.
That's true.
And lots of people don't know that because they've only seen the depiction of him in the Black Panther 2. But
even then,
Namor has laid that man out. The
even
Hulk
then,
came
Namor
up to
wasn't be
Namor,
trifled with, though.
just whap. But Namor came out of the water and just whap, laid the Hulk out, knocked him out. He changed back into Bruce Banner, and he was just like, "What happened?
What happened?
You got punched out by a fishman.
That's
You
crazy.
got punched out by a fishman." The Thing has
true.
tussled with him. He's brought him to a standstill, but he's still got his behind whooped. Sentry, who we are getting in the Thunderbolts, who, like, we're not even talking about that yet, but I'm super excited for that movie.
That's my sleeper in 2025.
I'm telling you,
That's
though,
gonna be a sleeper. Yeah, that is definitely a sleeper. I'm excited for that one, man. Yeah.
it's just, and it seems very self-aware. It seems very like
And I
even
feel
from
like
one of the
they
lines.
hiding people in these trailers on the Thunderbolts.
Oh no, they
I feel like
definitely
we finna
are.
get
Most
more
definitely. Yeah.
They
people.
definitely
I
are.
feel like we get some more
They-
members of that team.
I feel like they're starting to learn their lesson. I feel like
Yeah.
it just kind of is, I know we're talking about Marvel and Cap and all that stuff, but just kind of a side note, I feel like that's what James Gunn is trying to do, and everybody's upset at him about it. He already learned that he can't show everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you're upset about that. Like, I don't understand
Yeah.
why any fan would be upset about that. Like, yes, they hide things because they don't want to reveal their biggest bag and their biggest hand in the trailer. Like,
I'm more
Yeah.
excited for any well, just in general because of DC finally seeming to catch a leg up, but I'm more excited for this Superman movie, like Thunderbolts 2, but I'm more excited for this Superman movie than I have been for a DC movie in a long time because I don't know that much about it. Like,
I
he
feel you.
only showed me that much, and it can only get better from there because
Yeah,
we're dealing with James Gunn. We're not dealing with, like, a director that has something to prove. Technically, he does, but we're not dealing with a director that has something to prove in that way. He knows where his comfort zone is, and he's going to give us that. And I don't want to keep going on about James Gunn. We could do that another time. But
I mean, he's got bangers under
Yeah.
his belt. Like, no, I'm like, there's
Yeah.
nothing really for him to prove anymore to the comic book fandom.
Exactly.
On both sides,
he does this. He
Yeah.
does this. So it's just
But
like, I'm excited.
I think with trailers though, like, I mean, because there's a lot of people where, like, mainly the fair weather fans, they're just like, oh, I'm not so much, like, I'm not interested in Marvel as much anymore because, like, I can just see the trailers and, like, I'll know what the story is. And I'm just like, dude, that usually isn't the way that it goes. But with Captain America, I feel like there was a good amount of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like they, like,
can
with the
see that.
Thunderbolts, like, they're replaying a few not key scenes, but, like, the same scenes across all these trailers, and that's basically it. You're not getting a lot of information from them. With Captain America, even with them, like, showing that last, like, Red Hulk fight and all that stuff, we knew where this is going to head out. Like, where this was heading, right? And I think that kind of ruined the momentum because people were like, oh, I already know. Okay, cool. And then, like, yeah, you're right. It's most likely going to end with that Red Hulk fight.
Yeah.
But with Thunderbolts, with Fantastic Four, I mean, that's another. Oof, I can't.
I'm so excited.
We didn't even talk about that.
So
Pedro
excited.
Pascal hasn't failed me yet as a
But
fighter.
We still haven't seen him use his stretchy
Yeah.
powers, and I know it's going
Yeah.
to be a part of the movie. I know it's going to be
But-
a plot point.
yeah, so
Ben Grimm looks amazing.
yeah, it does. And so, like, the possibility of, like, actually seeing a Wolverine and Hulk fight, a Thing and a Hulk fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all exciting. You know, and, like, it's all building up to this huge Secret Wars event and whatever else happens afterwards,
I feel like they're going to give us a nod in Secret Wars to a Thing in a Hulk fight. I just feel like it's going to happen. Like, Hulk's going to go rampaging and Thing's going to be the only person there at the moment that can knock him out or something. Like it's going to be one of those. Like,
So-
Thing, hold him off.
Real quick. So, when I look at pictures of the leader, right, I think this dude is just a bigger four-headed version of Sinestro.
that part.
That's not a bad take.
I'm literally looking at
If
both these guys side by side. And I'm like, this is just Sinestro but green.
They did Sinestro really well. Despite how bad that movie was, they did Sinestro very well in
I've seen
Green
seasons
Lantern.
of that.
Sinestro was played by what's his name? can't think of his name right now, but he's in a lot of stuff. He was in the King's
I'm not
Men.
sure, but they did the
He was in the
practical
Penguin.
effects and the makeup.
Mark
with
Strong.
him. Mark Strong.
Yeah, Mark Strong.
Yeah, they
Mark
did.
Strong
They
plays
did the
extra.
practical. They did the
Right.
practical with him, and I was just all like, "Why didn't they just do that with the leader?" Like they were a little too scared for his forehead to be just that much bigger.
I'm telling you, brother, they
Bro got a
when
6
they
head.
get trash for stuff.
he do. He got a
They
head that's at least
adjust
that big.
the opposite direction. They adjust the opposite direction. We got trash for trying to go super comic booky with MODOK. Okay, so now we're just gonna try to do our own thing. And
Nah, they need to fix it.
Yeah, if you're gonna do,
They
if
need
you're
to
gonna
fix
do
it down the
leader,
line.
You gotta.
He needs to be the guy that you want to punch.
Yeah, like
'Cause that's who he is.
actually
He's-
type of guy.
He's that guy. He's
He is.
literally that
He's
guy.
literally that guy.
He's the one that in the middle of everything that
Facts.
you could see that in the middle of everything, like if he was there in Secret Wars and they're trying to figure out something and they ask his opinion and da 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 da, and he's all like, actually, like you could, the whole room should be like, mother, like shut up,
Right,
like he's
somebody come
right,
get this dude.
but shut up,
Come
like
get
he's
this
right, he's absolutely right,
Right.
but shut up.
One more
Yo,
thing.
you know who I'm glad that they didn't? First of all, shout out to them for not killing off all of their villains. Every single one of their villains survived. Shout out to them. Round
We
of
have
applause
that.
for
We have that.
Round
Yeah.
of applause.
They did it. They finally
But
did it.
I'm so glad that Giancarlo Esposito did not get killed.
Same.
I'm so glad that he survived.
So
And
do
I
y'all
love
feel
the
like
fact
he
that they
was on?
turned- I love the fact that they turned the Serpent Society into Serpent, like this mercenary
Yeah.
corps. I
Yeah.
thought that was dope.
Yeah.
Do we feel like what?
Do you feel like he was underutilized? Because I feel like there's a lot of
No,
commentary on that, saying that Giancarlo, like he wasn't.
I think he was
utilized
just
fully.
enough.
Yeah, I think so too. Because again,
Just
he's
enough.
not the big guy, like big bad. He's
not
the B
main
villain.
They made
Yeah.
him a mercenary, so that
Yeah.
makes sense.
They
Yeah.
made him. Well, he did it with his acting, but they made him kind of lovable. He's always a lovable villain.
Yeah.
I was just like, I want to see him come back now.
Because-
like, what did you?
Apparently,
what the
wasn't it supposed to be for Sidewinder? Wasn't it supposed to be Seth Rollins from
It was
WWE?
originally.
Okay,
Cut
and then
him
they
right
recasted
off.
him and all that. Okay,
I hope
'Cause
they
he
bring
can't
him
act,
back
'cause
in
he
some-
can't
in
act.
some degree in Serpent, maybe in the future. But
Nah,
John
I'm
Carlo as
cool.
Sidewinder is fire. I'm sorry. When he
Yeah.
had him on his knees and he took the gun and shot through his jacket, I was like, oh,
yeah,
Bro,
oh.
yeah.
I
After
was like,
stabbing him
that's
in
what
the
this
stomach,
is.
I said, oh, okay. That's
I
what
was
we
like,
doing?
I was legit more throttled by that than like, oh, the Red Hulk's coming. Like
Right.
this dude actually made me. It's kind of like it invoked that Winter Soldier's feel, where
Fact.
Winter Soldier isn't like a planetary level threat, but
Right.
he's enough of a threat to know like he can kill you.
Right.
Like he's skilled enough and strong enough to be able to kill you.
Right.
And if he's taking on this super person, and here one last thing, because we don't have too much time left, but one last thing with all these people and their crazy opinions, y'all. Number one, with this movie, okay, I get it. This is a grounded MCU movie. We're not gonna have the a bar for bar adaptation of the character that we have from the comics, but that's the key word here. They made a movie from comic book characters. If you had any idea what Sam could do in the comics,
Cool.
you'd be all like, nah, he's definitely got the serum.
Right.
This dude is it?
That
It's like Batman. It's like Batman bench pressing like 1,000 pounds. Like
Yeah.
He definitely has feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feet.
You got to take
Feats.
away the realism of it when you go into the comic book world. But when you
Right.
translate it onto screen, you're going to have to make it a bit more, we think grounded in terms of like, even just the stuff that we're seeing on like the multiversal kind of things, it's already grounded, quote unquote, from comics, right? And now, like, to make an actual grounded MCU movie, it's like you got to dumb it down even more. Not dumb it down, but like bring it more realistically, And so
absolutely.
I think, yeah, because no one's gonna ever like think like, oh, like Anthony Mackie can bench 1,000. No, not like that, but like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
no, for real.
because Clarence Spears got a real good marriage.
Shout out Papa Doc. I got 2 points.
I forgot he was Papa Doc, bro.
I got 2 points.
I was fully intent on calling him Sam Clarence Wilson.
See, I just call him Captain Falcon. Even though I know it's a super
Captain Falcon.
All right, go ahead, JusRzd. Go ahead.
But I got 2 points. And we can end it off here. The first point, they could have kept that post credit scene. Second point,
kind of, yeah.
I feel that. Off of what you were saying, Q, earlier about Buddy saying that we expect more out of Marvel. My question is why? Why do we expect more out of Marvel? They've been pretty
because they've already given us gold. That's why.
No,
that's most of the argument.
Us gold, but they've built up to that gold. They don't just come out the gate giving gold. Like they've built up to that gold. So it's just like,
instant gratification. People want that.
That's what I'm saying. Like they okay, y'all was mad and complaining that it was a bunch of new characters that y'all didn't know about that they were introducing in Phase 4, even though Phase 4 was genuinely about grief and how everybody adjusted to everything after Endgame and how it affected the world. Now we're in Phase 5. Yeah. We're fully into the multiverse of it all. And now y'all, what are we doing? Like
tweaking. They tweaking.
Y'all still complaining. Right. Because, where's the direction? Where are we going? And granted, I'm not saying that they haven't had to pivot, because they have had to pivot. Pandemic, people dying that were going to be the mainstay, like Chadwick, rest in peace. Kane getting in his legal issues. The actors,
Thunderbolt,
writers strike.
William Hurt.
Right. And so it's just
William Hurt was actually going to die in the movie apparently before they rewrote it.
Oh wow, okay.
Like Red Hulk wasn't going to die. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
I did not know that. Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, that was the original. That was the original thing. That
this is before he passed.
This was before he passed. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Dang.
He was gonna die.
He was already like sick.
I'm pretty sure he was, because he was kind of getting sicker at the end. Like you could see it too in the roles that he was playing. He did look a little sick.
He looked
more sick. Yeah.
Skinnier.
He looked really frail. Yeah.
But yeah, that's always my gripe when it comes to people like we expect more from Marvel. They keep putting out this film. It's just like, bro, why are we expecting more? Everything that they put out is not going to be gold or platinum. That's like saying every album an artist puts out is going to be platinum or diamond. Like that's not how that works.
Certainly wasn't true with Little Uzi.
I don't know what y'all talking about. Every song that I drop is fire. So
every song. I've dropped some clunkers. I'll admit that.
Don't get me started.
Nah, I'm not gonna.
The fact that he's from Philly is still mind-boggling, but
it's still crazy. but yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like, it's just kind of like I was saying with the instant gratification thing. I think this generation, and I don't want to sound like too much of an old head, but this generation, my generation too, we've just kind of grown to have that instant gratification thing going on where we pop it in, we want it done right away.
Right.
And it needs to be great. Like that can be a thing with music. Like some people think the process is always like, all right, super quick, and you come out with gold. Sometimes it takes a minute for a song to actually get right and sound the way that it's supposed to sound, you know?
Exactly.
But you know, it was good having this conversation about Captain America. Hey, and if you haven't seen it, go out and see it. With anything that we talk about, form your own opinion about it. Enjoy it for yourself. Enjoy it for what it is. Hey, man. JusRzd, can you talk us out, my guy?
Definitely. First of all, if you made it this far and you haven't seen the film yet, you're wild. But because you're wild. We spoiled the heck out of it. But anyway, if you thoroughly enjoyed the dialogue and the conversation, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, Those Indie Geeks, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already, so that way you can be notified anytime we drop a new video on the channel. And stay tapped in, stay locked in, and stay tuned in, because we're Those Indie Geeks. Peace.